So, Shanae, I checked the weather in the Bay. I brought a jacket, but I should have been prepared.
You should have, girl.
For a Curry flurry.
You known better.
That was certainly the case last night in the Bay. I'm glad my parents got to come and see this game. The Warriors and the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon, he would have the hot hand in this one. He couldn't miss in the first half, shot 7 of 7 from 3.
You see, athletic players can rely on their talent, but you have longevity when you expand your game, knocking down 10 threes for AG, baby. Beautiful.
By the way, San Jose kid showing out, going back home to the Bay Area here. Let's go ahead to the fourth quarter, though, because this is where things got good. The Nuggets lead by 5. Jokic backs down the defender. That's such a tough little floater he takes there, Brian.
He actually didn't have his best game, but he still made impacts all over the floor.
Yeah, he still had a triple-double, 21 points, 10 assists, 13 rebounds. But then Steph Curry took over.
That was a shot. When you see the shimmy, it's night-night.
You see the shimmy, you know it's going to shake. But Aaron Gordon had an answer yet again. Came up huge from 3. Gordon put the Nuggets up here. So the Warriors, they need a bucket. Who are you going to call? Steph Curry. Curry pulls up from deep. That's a layup from him. He nails it.
It's the second most impressive thing I've seen Steph do in the last week. The other was outdriving Bryson DeChambeau.
Well, he had a couple more impressive things to do in this game here for you, Brian. So final seconds here, game all tied at 120. Jamal Murray gets in the action, tries to give it to Nikola Jokic. That's the guy who you want to take the shot, couldn't quite get it to fall. Adelman was irate. He wanted a foul called on that play. Wouldn't happen. So to overtime we go, Shanae. More free basketball because we already got 2 in the early game. Jimmy Butler, the closer, handed it off to Steph Curry. He was red hot.
Let's close this up. Steph Curry is the NBA's Ghostbuster.
Can't give him any space. What are you going to do?
Miss. Jimmy Butler dishes out to Big Al Horford in the corner for 3. This is why you brought, we're not going to call him the old man. We're going to call him the seasoned vet here, a champion. Once again, Al relocates quick on his feet, back out to Jimmy Butler, nails the 3 to get it to go. Steph Curry, he wanted to hit Jimmy with the night-night there. What happened, bro?
Yeah, I was hoping he'd give it back, but he left me on an island. Draymond hit one last year, so I thought I could share the honor.
That's all right. He won't leave you on read next time. Curry finished with 41 points. The Dubs spoiled Gordon's 50-point night. Here's Steph.
I mean, there's 80 games left, so you kind of understand you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but building blocks on an understanding of how to win, the selflessness of a team that can have 8 or 9 guys in a closing lineup, realistically. I don't think that closing lineup, Al, Jimmy, Draymond, JK, and myself had gotten any real reps in training camp. But when you understand who you're playing against and what it takes to win this particular game, the collective IQ and just toughness got us over the hump.
He says toughness. Well, let's take a look at the lineup because Steve Kerr and Steph Curry said that lineup, Steph, Draymond, Jimmy, Horford, Kuminga, they've not even practiced together, and yet they finished with a +10 in only 8 minutes of action. Their best lineup all night. I wonder if we're going to see that lineup a little bit more as we welcome in our NBA champ, Kendrick Perkins. Perk, 2 impressive wins thus far for the Warriors against contending hopefuls in the Western Conference. Have they shown you anything? Have you learned something about this Dubs team?
It's early, but I do want to overreact. The Warriors are my sleepers to win it all, okay? The Warriors are my sleepers to win it all. Here's why. I mean, the determination, the want, the will that I saw out of Steph Curry, that light-skinned brother with the green eyes last night. For 3.5 quarters, I thought Denver was going to eventually pull away with this game. For him to step up and do what he did, overshadowing Aaron Gordon, historic night, 50 points. Jokic with a 21-point triple-double. Jamal Murray with 25 points. And I'm watching him and Steve Kerr, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond. They are embodying and trusting in Jonathan Kuminga. He was in the game late in the fourth quarter and in overtime. On top of that, I watched Steve Kerr draw the first play out for him when they started overtime, and I'm saying, oh, they're clicking. They're together. They got one agenda, one goal that's led by Steph Curry, and they are my sleepers to win it all. Sleeper to win it all.
I will say that this game illustrated the Aaron Gordon story, which has been very interesting over the last couple of years. He was so vital in their finals run. He has turned himself into a great three-point shooter these last couple of years. This is one of the hottest games you could ever have. And when it was over, he just had to look at Steph. Did you see what he did at the end of the game? I'm not going to say what he said,
there?
but you know what he said. It's
And
what else are you going to say? That is exactly right. And Steph's like, you know what? You are correct, sir. I am. And so the fact that the Warriors were resilient enough to overcome this type of performance just illustrates how hard it's going to be to beat them this year, and maybe how hard it's going to be to beat them 4 out of 7.
The Curry flurry gets the highlight, but Big Al Horford saved the day. Defensively, because we all know offense is their bread and butter. Defensively is where this team is truly going to separate themselves. What Al Horford did against Nikola Jokic, impressive, held him to 3 of 12 shooting. But most importantly, he allows the Golden State Warriors to play defensively with versatility. You remember, Draymond Green, all he does is guard 5s. No, in this matchup right here, he's guarding Jamal Murray. This is a luxury that you have because Al Horford is on the floor. Now, if you're able to switch, Jokic is timing this out with a shot clock. Here comes the screen. There's a switch. Al is great at smothering those 3-point shots, forces a pass. Look at how many Golden State Warriors are engaged on Jokic. Multiple in the paint, forcing deflection, huge stop, and it is contagious. Now, this right here is what Steve Kerr has to love. Engagement from Jonathan Kuminga. Normally, these could be easy buckets for other teams, but instead he's engaged. He said, hey, Steph, I got your back right here. Going to the outside. I got your protection, and it forced another stop in overtime. I know those threes were sexy. I know those numbers were great, but defensively, we all know when you're in the trenches, you do the dirty work, that's when you are rewarded, and Al Horford is a big part of that.
Absolutely. Their defensive identity changed after bringing in Jimmy Butler. Al Horford, the extra sauce on top.
NBA